Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, blockbusting X-Man, Alan Cumming. From Curb Your Enthusiasm, Susie, Essman. And their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, stand up for Stewart Lee, Diamond Liza Tarbuck. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, it takes 6,000 gallons of paint, 60 people and 4 months to paint the Eiffel Tower? Why don't they just take a photo? 50% of people have had sex in a car. I had sex in a hybrid once. I didn't know she was a hybrid until we got back to the hotel. Of course, by then, I'd paid. Scottish men are the biggest gamblers in the UK. Can my heart take another battered sausage? I'll chance it. The average person falls asleep in 7 minutes. So, let's get on with the show. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean's team, what do you think the nation have been discussing this week?
I think it's got to be Big Brother.
Big Brother? We're loving the Big Brother.
I do watch Big Brother a lot.
It's where they find these people, like Laura, who got voted off last week. Her first thing she said when she got on there, she was like, "Oh, back home, my friends, they call me Vicky Pollard." Like, they're not friends, Laura.
I was just going to ask you who your favourite is. Who do you like?
I don't know about this mob.
Are you not a fan of Brian? He's amazing.
Oh, no, I think Brian should win.
He's amazing. He thinks women don't defecate.
Did you say that the man thought that women don't defecate?
He basically said, women don't shit. They do little droppings or something, but it's not the same.
I find him really uplifting to watch.
He's so excited about
Yeah.
stuff. On his birthday, they said to him, we're going to give you the gift of knowledge. And he said, I don't want knowledge, I want cider.
It's like reverse counselling. When I watch it with my girlfriend, like watching Chanel and Ziggy, the amount of times like she's out of order and a bit bitchy and a bit whiny, and I sort of look at my girlfriend and go, "That's you, that." Right? You know? And he's like the weirdest bloke, Ziggy. He's like a cross between Cliff Richard and Russell Crowe. He's got this weird thing in the diary room where he gets in and he sits like this. Yeah, I mean, like, He, like, throws a little... And he changed his name from Zach to Ziggy. Who does that? If you've already got a stupid name, change it to Phil or Steve, not Ziggy.
I love it. I think it's brilliant. I absolutely think it's the best thing I've ever watched. I absolutely think it's brilliant. I absolutely think it's the best television I've ever seen. And I particularly enjoyed Fake Week.
Do you know what Fake Week is?
Yeah, I've just been doing a bit.
Well, let's have a look and see whether Big Brother is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is. Ziggy has apparently slept with Abby Titmus, which is a claim to fame is a bit like saying, I've had a coffee from Starbucks. Jason's team, what have the nation been talking about this week?
It's got to be Osama bin Laden's son marrying that woman from Cheshire. Basically, this woman, Jane something or other, she's 50-ish. And 51, that's right. She's married this fella who is that mentalist's lad. And they're going to move to Cheshire as well, which sounds brilliant, doesn't it?
They're waiting for the visa so he can come from Saudi Arabia.
Married.
I wonder if they're going to get the visa.
I imagine the wait at the airport, even if they do get the visa, is going to be significant.
Huge, yeah.
If he comes over and lives in Cheshire, he'd be a nightmare neighbour, wouldn't he? If that ball comes over here, I'll put a plane through it. You know what I mean?
It's just a really beautiful love story. I think we shouldn't mock it.
Do you think they're going to remake Shirley Valentine?
No, you know what I think? This is a TV movie waiting to happen. It's going to be Jane Seymour and Jessie Metcalfe playing those two. Mark my words.
Jessie Metcalfe playing Osama bin Laden's son?
Yes. He's very versatile.
They've seen each other once in the past, like, 15 months or something.
Yeah, but they spend like, loads of time on the phone planning the wedding.
Exactly.
There's a chance that it may soften bin Laden's feelings towards Western values and bring an end to this senseless conflict. Or make it worse.
He's the ultimate embarrassing dad, isn't he? He's like, he says, I think the Twin Towers was bad. Do you want to see him dance?
Does all Northern Soul moves.
Well, it's not one of the top 5 most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that a British woman has married the son of Osama bin Laden. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blew up. When they first met, they knew there was a chemistry between them. It turns out it was a fertiliser bomb. Right, back over to you, Sean, Liza and Stewart. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
Alistair Campbell's diaries. His political diaries that he's released this week, which have caused a bit of a hoo-ha.
You know what I noticed, because I was reading excerpts, that there's a lot of focus on Tony Blair and his underwear. It almost has like a homoerotic quality. Like I expected to read, Tony Blair shook his hair out and sweat glistened on his naked torso as he stood there in his underwear. You notice that?
He went on a bit about Princess Diana, didn't he? How she really wanted to meet him when they went and had this surreptitious dinner in Hackney.
They went to dinner in Hackney?
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, Starburger.
She can be herself there.
They had one of those big bendy sausages.
I like the fact that Gordon Brown, they said, are you going to read them? He goes, no, I'm not going to read them because I'm too busy running the country.
Yeah.
Like it's a train set, you know. I'm driving the country, look. Beep, beep.
Well, you know, at least you guys have somebody who pretends to run the country. We have somebody who pretends to run a train set.
Excellent.
Well, let's have a look and see whether Alistair Campbell is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed it is. Yes, Alistair Campbell's diaries hit the shops this week. His book is said to be a bit like the Bridget Jones diary. Units of alcohol, 3. Lies told, 412. War started, 2. Alistair Campbell now devotes much of his time and energy to raising money for leukemia research. Still, on balance, total Jason, what else?
Tour de France?
What have they been saying?
Does nobody notice that it's the Tour de France, but it started in England?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
I mean...
He's right, you know.
There's
been a terrible cock-up.
I saw this thing that said that the riders have to eat 10,000 calories a day for the high bits.
I'm on that diet now. I might enter
How
next
do you
year.
do that? If you're on a bike all the day, how do you get the time to...
That's why they have those baguettes, don't they?
I was in southern France when the Tour de France was on once, and people turn out in all the villages and get really excited and wave and everything. And in London, the main thing seems to have been that it's disrupted Meals on Wheels.
Yeah. Do you see on a Saturday, the race, it disrupts us with this, disrupts Meals on Wheels, thinking, they get fed on a Saturday as well? So we're feeding them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, fend for yourself. They just put some old, you know, when you feed them on a Friday, a couple of extra buns down the chute.
Of course, you lost your job as a carer, didn't you?
Let's have a look and see if the Tour de France is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed it is. Fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
Queen. Moody Queen.
Yeah,
Moody Queen.
allegedly.
Yeah.
She's having a photo
She
taken.
stormed off and then...
The BBC have actually now said she didn't storm out.
I don't think she
She
did.
swans off.
The BBC have apologised, saying events were misrepresented.
Well, she had a diamond and ermine crusted robe.
It's heavy.
And the woman said, can you take that off? I need something a bit less dressy. And the Queen went, less dressy? What do you think this is? Yeah. I don't think she rolled her head like that, like...
The Queen's a lot like Charlie in Big Brother, isn't she? When you think about it.
She's not exactly a great dresser, the Queen, to begin with, all right?
Don't
Excuse
come
me.
Don't come.
We don't get the whole royalty thing in the States.
Oh, you
We
got
don't-
what,
no, we
Barbara
don't get
Bush?
it. I'm sorry. But she's not royalty. I don't have to walk my ass backwards to her.
Well, I don't have to back into the Queen often. There was one
I don't
time.
have to curtsy. I could walk up to Barbara Bush and say, your son's an idiot, your husband's an asshole, and you're a controlling I could do all of that. I can't do that to the Queen.
No, you can do that to the Queen. We will then behead you.
£280 million a year she gets, which is a lot of money. And I say, if you're taking pictures of her, you'll do what we say, all right? You're getting 280 million quid. If I want you naked with the baby, like that, or scratching your arse in a tennis outfit, you'll do it, Elizabeth.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've never seen her smile.
It's all like, let's all jump on the American.
That's because she's my queen, Susie.
It's our time
quite
now.
right.
It's like my brother's a bit of a knobhead, but if you said it, I'd be like, that's my brother you're talking about. That's the rules. Although Bush is a twat.
We don't know what she was asked to do by Annie Leibovitz. He may have been saying stuff like, could you just slip your top off, love, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you imagine she's trying to get the Queen to do that. or like a flake, like that.
First class.
OK, well, let's have a look and see whether the Queen being in a huff is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that the Queen became grumpy at a photo shoot when photographer Annie Leibovitz asked her to remove her crown. The last time the Queen was photographed with the crown jewels on her head was when Philip had the camera hidden in the wardrobe. OK, we've got one more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about?
I think it's got to be Live Earth, hasn't it? That pointless gig they did last week. And they kept going on about, oh, standby button, and then Genesis come on, and standby button, and you just thought, if you shut up about saving energy, this gig would be over in half the time.
I think that everyone's going, oh, look at this gig, right? It wasted loads and loads of energy, right? But all gigs waste energy. Like a Bon Jovi gig wastes energy.
Yeah.
A West End musical wastes energy, right? But Live Earth was to save the planet.
Absolutely.
And it succeeded. We're still here.
You know what? You know what? I am so sick and tired of hearing what celebrities think about politics and social issues.
A lot of those celebrities that were in that, people are criticising them, going, they just did it for the, publicity, but they're all people that do a lot of secret charity work. Like David Baddiel, for example, did a bit. He sponsors an otter at London Zoo.
Tirelessly as well.
He does, tirelessly.
He sponsors it tirelessly.
It was ruined by hearing you on the radio in the morning just saying you'll always be in love with Diana.
I did. I was at the thing and I got interviewed by Jonathan Ross. And they went, what's the day about? And I went, it's just important we remember Diana.
Totally.
The Diana thing, I think, did more for the environment. And essentially, that was a concert celebrating one less car on the road.
Who's out there for a bad environment? Who wants bad air?
Bush is out there for a bad environment.
Well, but
States
he's not
is
out there saying, let's do a whole telethon for bad environment.
No,
you know what I mean?
The only thing
Crack open the back of your fridges, let's fuck this place up.
Let's have a look and see whether Live Earth is up there. Yes, it is the most discussed thing this week. The Live Earth concert was held at Wembley last week. Live Earth was a huge success. No one watched, so clearly the message of turning off your TV is getting through. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Our teams take it in turns to choose a picture and then have to answer a related statistical question. Sean, Liza and Stewart, you're first. What do you want to go for?
The Queen.
OK, so you're going to go for the Queen there. That's Elizabeth I. This is a one-upmanship question. In a poll to find the historical figure Brits would most like to bring back to life, Elizabeth I came second. Who do you think came top?
When you say bring back, do you mean, like, reanimate them? From, like, they dig them up and then get loads of scientists to sort of make some kind of animatronic version of them?
Yeah, no, this is a question about corpse robbing.
Yes. That makes it a lot more interesting, then.
I think, no, it's bringing them back to life as they were in their prime, let's say.
More interestingly, how?
These
Well,
two
I've got
are
it here.
being
When I reveal the
Robin
answer,
Hood.
I will tell you how to bring back your
for
dead
what?
relatives that you miss so terribly back to life. All right, so stay fucking tuned. Got the magic.
Is the historical figure supposed to take back their old job, or are they given a kind of ceremonial role?
That's too many questions.
No, but you see what he means?
Yes.
He needs a reason for it, because if they said, no, well, for science, you might say Marie Curie.
No, all right, it is purely for a laugh.
For fun. Is it Tintin?
He's a famous artist.
Rolf Harris?
Yes.
He's not dead. He's not dead, but let's kill him and bring him back.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci is it?
Yes. Good work. Come on.
Yes,
Very
the
good.
historical figure Brits would most like to bring back to life is Leonardo da Vinci. If I could bring anyone back from the dead, I'd bring back Harry Potter. Sorry, that spoilt it. Jason, Susie and Alan, what do you want to go for?
Bond.
Let's go with Bond.
All right, you've chosen Roger Moore. This is an audience poll question. It was announced this week that a new James Bond novel is to be published. We polled the studio audience and asked them, who would you call in an emergency, James Bond or Andy McNab, the famous SAS nutter?
If you start ringing fictional characters when you're in the shit, you are even further in the shit. Oh, my God, it's all right. Harry Potter will come. It'll be fine.
I say Bond any day. I mean, Bond, he's James Bond.
Alan, you were in Goldeneye, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in Goldeneye. I was in a James Bond film.
So you could technically ring him.
I have his number.
Let's ring him now for a laugh. I'm in trouble. I've not got Andy McNab's number, so I had to ring you.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that there's been several Bonds means there's a chance of any one of them showing.
Yeah.
You don't want one of the old
Roger,
ones.
It could be Sean, it could be...
I'll help you. Fuck off, Liza, bitch.
The last thing you need in an emergency is a bleeding actor.
How dare you?
Leave it, guys. Leave it.
Just come up and go, so what's the problem here?
Well, that was sort of an impression of Roger Moore, who's not technically an actor. James Bond or Andy McNab, who would they call in an emergency?
Bond.
You think
James
Bond?
Bond.
Right, 68% of the audience would call James Bond in an emergency. Of course, James Bond has a pen that turns into a gun. Andy McNab has a pen that turns into a terrible book. So at the end of that round, Sean, Liza and Stewart have 3 points. Jason, Susie and Alan have 4 points. Join me after the break when we'll be finding out the most romantic thing men do for their wives. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement. All they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Let's have a look first at a clip to illustrate the statistic.
Dictating is central to Barbara Cartland's routine.
As he came in, seeming to fill the whole place, because he was so handsome, so different to any other men, she knew from the vibrations that came from him towards her that this was something very, very different, so different, that the night with the candlelight dinner and the food she'd chosen with so much care, something wonderful was going to happen. And she was quite certain he was going to say, which she'd longed for so long to hear, I love you. How many words? 7,200. Good. Come on, boys. Walkies.
It was Barbara Cartland there, writing her novel, An Orifice and a Gentle Bum.
I think it's Alistair Campbell in drag.
Here is your related statistic. 43% of men cite making a cup of tea as the most romantic thing they do for their wives. True or false?
I think it's true.
You
I
think
think
it's
men are simple and women are complex, and we love you guys, but we love you in a patronising way, like kind of how you love the village idiot, you know?
Can I stop you?
Yes.
It's patronising.
I do notice here where you've put speech marks around, like making a cup of tea. Like, that's not romantic. That is quite a romantic thing to do. Some women love it, don't they?
Yeah, I can't get enough tea.
Whether it's romantic or not depends on how the tea is served. If the tea is cold and is spat directly into the woman's mouth, that is not romantic.
I don't know.
That's sexy.
Could be hot.
Well, you could give them a cup of tea and, like, put a ring in it, right? And then they drink it like that. They get to the end and go, oh, what's that? And then they start choking, and you give them the Heimlich manoeuvre, and the ring comes out. You've saved their life, and you go, will you marry me? How romantic is that? You've saved their life, made them a cup of tea, and proposed to them, and probably broken a rib.
I proposed to my girlfriend and did the whole thing, you know, on one knee and all that palaver. When I rang me mum, the first thing she said was, is she pregnant?
Is she pregnant?
Yeah, she is, yeah. Why do you think I'm marrying her?
Lisa, what do you think's romantic?
I don't know. I want someone to be quite practical.
Yeah. Well, no, women like a practical man. Like, there's nothing my partner likes better than we both drive out and we go to Digger World. She watches me on a digger being like moving earth, like that. Oh, I'm digging this one for you, baby.
And they say romance isn't dead.
Romance is dead. Men killed it and made women clean it up. 43% of men cite making a cup of tea as the most romantic thing they do for their wives. True or false?
True.
Jason?
Yeah, maybe we should go with that.
Do you reckon true?
Yeah.
I think it's a sad state of affairs if it is true.
True.
I'm going to
true?
overrule
Really
you
sad.
both and say false.
I can tell you it is true. Yes, 43% of men say the most romantic thing they've ever done for their wives is make them a cup of tea. I would make my girlfriend a cup of tea, but I don't know the recipe. So at the end of that round, Sean's team have 4 points, Jason's team have 4 points. It's all level. It's exciting. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Men's dream job.
Blowjob.
It's not what I've got on the card. I mean,
OK.
obviously, it's right.
I think it's superhero, and I think it's the stupidest thing in the world to want, because it ain't never gonna happen.
You say that. X-Men 2.
Amen.
We've got an X-Men on our team. What were your special powers again?
I teleport.
You teleport?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You tried to kill the president, have you not?
I did. I tried to kill the president.
You should have done that in real life.
I fucking should have. Oh, I better not do that, because the FBI will be after me now. If you say I want to kill the president, the FBI automatically have to come and get you.
Oh, well, hang on. That sounds like the best security for my house you can buy. I want to kill the president. That'll stop kids breaking in, an FBI car outside.
They don't come and stay. They take you away.
Oh, it's rubbish.
I reckon I've got the perfect men's job. I'm a lap dance critic for the Times. Yeah.
I've read those pieces. They're very good. They're informative.
Yeah. So I was at Cheeky's in Brighton, and I was very impressed with Candy. It really does. An excellent show.
It's Cowboy Builder, because it's like 2 wicked jobs in one, isn't it? Yeehaw! I'll have 6 sugars. That'd be brilliant.
Racing driver.
Exactly the right answer.
Never would have thought.
Most desirable location for a holiday home.
Well, I know Alistair Campbell's using his diary money to build a villa up his own arse.
I know this. Germany.
What?
Germany. Everyone wants to live in Germany. It's beautiful. It's got the beaches, it's got the weather.
The beaches, the weather.
Yeah, it's got one beach just outside of Hamburg. It's not really a beach, it's more of a sort of port. Sort of. If you get down off one of the dock things, there's a bit of shingle.
Okay. You should be a travel agent.
Is it Disneyland? Because, like, you can live with all the characters and stuff, like, next door be...
Kind of a holiday.
Morning, Mickey! Morning! I'd just be great.
Where would you like to?
Any place where my mother wouldn't visit. So here.
Will she not visit here?
She doesn't travel.
Well, you can go anywhere then, can't you?
I think New Zealand.
New Zealand, you're very close. New Zealand was second.
Australia.
Australia is it? Yeah. Yes, Australia is a great place to buy a holiday home. You can go there for the weekend, spend 6 minutes in the airport cafe, then fly back refreshed and ready for Wednesday. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Liza and Stewart have 5 points, Jason, Susie and Alan have 5 points. It's a dead heat. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and for all of you for watching at home, that's it from us. Good night.